Well, hello out there, all of you out there, pop culture fans and revelers of all things, movies, TV, music, all of the things. You just happen to have stumbled upon the Top 5 podcast, the very much coolest pop culture show ever put on by two sisters from the West Coast and the Midwest. I am Kris McPeak. And joining me today, like almost every day, is my very bestest friend and youngest sister, Annie Pruitt. Hello, Annie Pruitt.
Hello, Kris McPeak.
And how are you on this fine Saturday?
I'm doing great. My dogs, maybe not so much, but I'm good.
We just finished a show about sports, and we are going to absolutely flip this next one on its head because we're going high personal disclosure sharing today. Well, maybe not, but personal nonetheless, for sure. So, Annie, what's the topic of our show?
We're going to do the playlist of your life, the top 5 songs that tell your story.
And that in itself, it's exciting and scary all at the same time. As I'm saying this, I feel like I'm going to have to pull up song lyrics too.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm pulling up lyrics so that I can explain why it tells my story.
Yeah. Who came up with this one? You or me? I can't remember.
I think it was a joint decision. We were having a conversation. I think we kind of came up with it together.
I think perhaps you are correct. But, it's fun. And yeah, anyway, I don't know why I'm putting off the inevitable. We're just going to have to share a song. So do you want to go first or do you want me to?
I'll go first. No, I want you to go first. You go first.
Okay, so I'm slightly cheating because two of my entries are combos. So it's not really the top 5 songs that tell my story, but it'll be the top 8 by the time I'm done. But my number 5 combo is from I want to say it's Flavors of Entanglement album from Alanis Morissette, and the songs are On the Tequila and Bitch to Grow Up. So, I feel like she wrote this song for me. Tequila became my signature cocktail of sorts, from the margaritas we consumed at Jose's to the shots that we would do also at Jose's to the other shots that I would do. They were called Bloody Brains. And Tim Patricia would buy these for me at the karaoke show at the North End. A shot of tequila with a squishy lime and a drop of Tabasco. And if that, didn't clean out your system, nothing would. But so bring on the tequila. First, she talks about her friends meeting before and they make homemade pizza. Well, oh my God, homemade pizza was kind of part of my thing for a long time. And in college, in grad school, we had 2 weekends where we brought a crap ton of people over to the house, made some homemade pizza, watched a movie, and slept anywhere on the ground floor that people could find a place to sleep. But then we talk about the song talks about keeping our eye on our friends from high school. For me, this is not the high school friend. It's my grammar school friends that I think about in junior high school, and namely like Linda Zernight and Ann Ennis. And then we talk about my friend from Chicago. God, do I love all people from Chicago. Well, Chicago is my favorite city. The 2.5 years that Charles and I lived there, having the karaoke show, meeting people like Tim and Mark Martell and just all these other amazing folks. So that brings up memories. And then there is the Cupid friend who knows how to dress. She's a wild and worldly girl. That is most likely, I don't know who that is, but it's somebody. I can't think of it right now. And then there's My Brother Came to Visit Me, and now he's used to hanging with me and cracking up. When I hear those lyrics, I think about the time that Mike brought Heather to Arkansas so we could meet her, and he got really shit-faced and almost got in a fight at JR's, left the apartment at Holcomb, came back, And instead of coming to my apartment, he went into some Korean grad student's room. And yeah. So anyway, depending on when I'm listening to this, it brings up a whole other slew of memories for me. And I was, Charles is in the other room having, nursing a bit of a hangover from tequila last night. And so I've just been singing, I'm fire on tequila. And he's, looking at me with daggers. Then the complement to that song is another tune on this album called It's a Bitch to Grow Up. And I think this just kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It validates the concept that things change as we age. And as a person who has now turned the lady corner and, no longer has a time of the month, I think of that period of my life and what it has felt like to go through those changes. And that it's not easy. It's been very hard on me physically, mentally. It's been hard for me and Charles. It's been hard for me in the workplace. And it's a little sad, but sometimes it's true. I feel done. I feel raked over coals. And all that remains is the case that it's a bitch to grow up, which is not to say that I don't think I'm a happy person, because I do, but this is reality. And sometimes it's really hard to go through those changes in your life. So that is my number 5. It is the 1-2 combo punch of On the Tequila and It's a Bitch to Grow Up.
Okay. Ooh, that was intense.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay. My number 5 is 25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So, if you don't know what, a lot of people don't, what the heck does 25 or 6 to 4 mean? So what it means is it's a song about somebody with writer's block. So it's basically 25 or 26 minutes to 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's 3:35 or 3:34 in the AM. And he's sitting cross-legged on the floor with the neon lights blinking outside of his apartment window, trying to think of what to write. So searching for something to say. That's the essence of it. That's what the entire song is about. And the lyrics, there's only three, what's the word?
Verses.
There's a verse. Yeah, there's only 3 verses to it. And then the chorus. And then there's a whole lot of, Chicago, the amazing band that they are. We actually saw them last summer and got to hear them play this live, and it was amazing. But when in college, I majored in creative writing, and to this day, I am writing all of the time, and writer's block is a death sentence when you have to get it done. So the song "Waiting for the Break of Day," searching for something to say, just it's 3:30 in the morning, and I cannot get a verse in my head. I cannot write. This is driving me nuts. So that's been so much of my life from college to today. It is like that in some way, shape, or form. And whether or not it's writing, but whether it's creative block or, just not being able to get your head straight. And that's why this tells the story of my life of just trying to get the words out, whether it's, a strongly worded email or, you need to say something and you don't know how to say it. So there you go. That's my number 5. 25 or 6 to 4, probably Chicago's best hit.
Yeah. Wow. That is certainly a song I always equate as, penultimate. If you were going to Google top Chicago songs, 25 or 6 to 4 would be it. But I never knew any of those lyrics, never really paid attention. I can just sing the chorus part essentially.
Yeah.
But my favorite Chicago songs were all the more recent ones, the ones from the 80s. And I don't know why. That's the thing. In fact, we recently just did a show that top 5 albums we can sing from start to finish with no breaks or in succession. Now I don't remember if it's Chicago 16 or 17, but whichever one has Stay the Night and You're the Inspiration and Along Comes a Woman, that album, I feel like I could sing everything. And every now and then I will pull that up on iTunes and play that, because there's some great songs on that album. Okay. My number 4 is by the Indigo Girls, and the song is called Mystery. And for me, and it's kind of crazy to explain, There is a person that comes to mind when I think about the song, but in the grand scheme of things, it's the song about, I feel like it's kind of the song about the boy that got away and reliving all of those flings that I had in high school and college before I met Charles, who I would marry, and now we're spending the rest of our lives together. So it's really hard to explain, and it's probably not going to make sense to anybody. Each time you'd pull down the driveway, I wasn't sure when I would see you again. Yours was a twisted, blindsided highway, no matter which road you took then. And so I could go through each and every person that this applies to. It was originally motivated by one person that I met in graduate school and was friends with before Charles and I got together. And it overlaps all of these different people. So, and not my other high school boyfriend, but a couple boyfriends I had in high school, a couple guys I spent time with in college. And into this song going away when Charles and I got together. You like the taste of danger. It shines like sugar on your lips. There must be 1,000 things you would die for, but I can hardly think of two. Again, it's a strange song. Sometimes I'm not sure why I understand it the way that I do, but
Yeah.
it is, for me, it is just, what might have happened if had I been with this person instead of where I am now. And it's all a mystery. And again, it's not I'm so sad that this didn't happen. It's, I'm very curious about what these relationships meant to me at the time and what they mean for me now. Because I have been married for almost 30 years. But the relationships that you have before, they're still part of your world, and they can be a total mystery. So there you go.
Yeah. I like that. I don't know that song. I'm about to listen to it. Actually, I don't know any of your 3 songs so far, so I need to listen.
Whoa.
Okay, great. All right. My number 4 is all right. My number 4 is I'm So Tired by the Beatles.
Oh.
Had to have some Beatles in there somewhere. So the lyrics go, I'm so tired, I haven't slept a wink. I'm so tired, my mind is on the blink. I wonder, should I get up and fix myself a drink?
I love it.
Yes. But basically he's pining for this, for a love. My mind is set on you. I wonder, should I call you? So, when Keith and I first got together, we didn't know we loved each other. We just, we didn't see it as a relationship happening to be falling in love. But I wanted to know what he was thinking, and it did. I lost a lot of sleep thinking about him. I lost a lot of sleep thinking about Keith, and is he thinking about me? And it's funny now because he's been gone for 3 weeks, and the lyrics in the song is, I can't sleep, I can't stop my brain. It's 3 weeks, I'm going insane. So it's funny. It tells the story of my life right now. But it's a great song. It starts out real slow, but there's like when I'm drained, when I am emotionally and physically drained, this is my song that I play because it tells me it is exactly it fits my mood because I am so tired, and all I want to do is just listen to some Beatles music, have a drink, and back then I would have had a cigarette, but instead, and feel what I'm going to feel. So that's my number 4. I'm so tired. The Beatles.
I love it. I that's a song I do not know. So I can't wait to put this playlist together.
Love it. Yeah.
This is going to be a dilly. Hey, fun. Okay. Where am I? My number 3, first of 3 country songs on this list. I don't know what happened to Jessica Andrews, if she's still recording, but I love this song, and it's called Who I Am by Jessica Andrews by 2000, I think. And it's not, and I get into this theme later in the list with 2 other songs, but it's kind of like, if I live to be 100, if I never see the 7 wonders, that'll be all right. If I don't make it to the big leagues, if I never win a Grammy, I'm going to be just fine because I know exactly who I am. And it's funny that we're doing this today because again, Billions side note, I am rewatching all of the seasons as the show is coming to an end and finding all the pop culture references that pop up in here. But one of the episodes I just finished has some connection to the movie Angel Heart with Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro. And I watched Angel Heart yesterday because now I'm trying to like remember what it is that brought this brought this film into the mix. And it has to do with knowing who you are. But the chorus is where I get very emotional and cute and sweet. And I've sang this at karaoke before, and I have a rhythm that goes with it. So I am Rosemary's granddaughter. Well, I sang I am Agnes's granddaughter, the spitting image of my father, which is not completely true. I'm the spitting image of our Aunt Judy, but that's our father's sister. The spitting image of my father. And when the day is done, my mom is still my biggest fan. And I point up to the heavens because that's where mom is. And so that gives me a warm feeling too. Sometimes I'm clueless and I'm clumsy, but I have friends who love me and they know just where I stand. It's all a part of me and that's who I am. And I love the warmth of this song. I love that I think about where I've come from and who my parents are, and that I can be all of these things. I can be a saint and a sinner, a loser, a winner, a steady and unstable. I'm not so young anymore, but I am able. So that's my number 3.
I love that song.
I do too. It's one of those, like, sometimes I can't listen to it on the radio because I'll start to cry.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So my number 3 is also a country song and also quite sentimental. So it's Willie Nelson, Hands on the Wheel.
Ah,
so
this one either.
This song, my first wedding, this was the song. This was the father-daughter dance. I danced with our dad to this song, but the lyrics tell my story. So at a time when the world seems to be spinning hopelessly out of control, there's deceivers, believers, and old in-betweeners that seem to have no place to go. And then in the pre-chorus, with no place to hide, I looked in your eyes and I found myself in you. So it's about, it's about being lost and then being found. Everything goes up in smoke, and then the chorus is, now my hand's on the wheel, I've got something that's real, and I feel like I'm going home. So kind of, it's one of my it's my favorite Willie Nelson song. It's one of my all-time favorite songs because it's talking about the Who I Am song, about who this is who I am. But when somebody else sees you for who you are and loves you for who you are, then I feel like I have my hands on the wheel, and this and now it's real. So
wow,
that tells my story. So Willie Nelson, hands on the wheel.
Okay, so Mark, this show is the first one.
I'm sorry.
Oh my Lord, no, it's okay. That's another song I'm not familiar with, so I can't wait to pull this playlist together.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna enjoy this one.
Okay,
it's on the Electric Horseman soundtrack.
Oh, you're kidding! It is really?
Yes.
Oh, for crying out loud!
There you go. Now you have a.
Is it Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys also on?
My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys is on it.
And Midnight Rider, yeah.
And Midnight Rider, yes. It's such a great soundtrack. I'm sorry.
I want to find our disco dance song. So badly. I want to do our dance. It's been years. Jenny, and I don't think Jenny listens to the show. So no. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, good Lord. Okay. Needed a comic relief there for.
My number 2 is another country song. And this is the song I equate with my whole marriage. And it's You're Still the One by Shania Twain.
Oh, I love that song.
I cannot tell you how many people in grad school gave me their opinion of my relationship and told me in so many words, like, you're barking up the wrong tree. And so they said, I'll bet they'll never make it, but look at us holding on. We're still together and going strong. Oh, fuck me. Anyway, the chorus is really all of the things in this song. So You're still the one I run to, the one I belong to, and the one I want for life. And I'm glad we didn't listen. Look at what we would be missing. So that whole, they say, I bet they never make it. I want to just say to all of them, fuck off. Because as hard as it can be to be married, and that it's a struggle, you are sharing your whole life, your whole space with another person. And that really requires a lot of patience and understanding. And I'm learning a lot of that right now because, you know, postmenopausal is not, it is not the easiest stretch of your life. So I almost never listen to the song all the way through because I wind up a blathering mess like I am right now. And someday I will have the strength and the fortitude to sing this all the way through in the presence of that sweet man who is hungover outside, probably going to work on the motorcycle now. But that is my number 2. You're Still the One by Shania Twain. Oh my Lord.
Okay. My number 2 is a little different, and it's the lyrics themselves don't necessarily tell the story of my life, but the meaning in the song for me tells my story. And it's called Trees by 21 Pilots.
Of course.
Of course. So there's really only one main chorus, and that's I know where you stand silent in the trees. That's where I am, silent in the trees. Why won't you speak where I happen to be? Silent in the trees, standing cowardly. So when you listen to the song, some people think, who is he talking to? Who is it meant for? So when I sing the song, you could look at it as somebody's talking to a loved one, or to me, it's about reaching out to. It's a more spiritual song. So it's more like I want to know you. I want to see. I want to say hello. And it's about reaching out to, whether you call it whatever you believe in, your version of a higher power. And we did not grow up going to church. We did not grow up in a religious home. But so however it is that you believe, or however spiritual you are, this is one of the most spiritual songs for me. And it also, for those that have passed. And I want to say hello. So that's my story is I want to know you, I want to see, and I want to say hello to what is beyond.
Wow. 21 Pilots.
21 Pilots.
And what's the name of the song again?
Trees. Yes.
I feel like I need a drink.
I will give you my honorable mention. It's a little bit ridiculous. Okay, but I am a little bit ridiculous. So it's a song that if I am feeling sad, it immediately makes me happy. But it's What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction.
I love that.
My entire life, I've never seen myself the way other people see me. So the lyrics are, you're insecure, don't know what for. You're turning heads when you walk through the door. Don't need makeup to cover up. Being the way that you are is enough. And it took me a long time to feel that way, that I've never, to feel beautiful, because I never saw myself that way. And when somebody falls in love with you, when you don't wear makeup and your hair is in a bun and you're in a green uniform day in and day out, that means you are beautiful exactly as you are. So Keith was the person that made me feel beautiful exactly. I don't need makeup. When I walk into the room, he immediately sees the beauty that there is. And so like this song now, like, it's my anthem, because I want to sing it to anybody who feels insecure about the way that they look, or the way they feel, and the way that you are is enough. That's it right there. And I have to sing it to myself to make to when I'm having my lower days, I sing it to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that song. And that's one of that. If you were going to do a top 5 playlist ever of guilty pleasure songs, that goes on my list because they're this cute little British boy band. But I turn into some weird person when that song comes on the radio in the car. And I have a whole car dance that goes with it, which has been documented, I think, on either Facebook or Instagram by my friend Crystal. But Charles has a great story to tell about me car dancing, singing that song, because we had the windows rolled down. I don't know where we were in town, but a cop car rolled up to our right, and I'm paying no attention because I'm in the zone with this song.
Yeah.
I have little, hand movements that I do with the song. You don't know, oh, like my hand goes like that. And the cop just can't help himself. He turns the head and he's apparently watching me in this, complete state of, I'm lost in all of it. And Charles just goes like this, like, what do I do? And the cop is laughing his ass off. So when I finally figured out that a police officer was watching, I did not get embarrassed. I just accelerated the insanity of the singing of the song. So, but I never thought about that song that way. Because for me, it was always like, this is a cute little boy band song that I'm like getting all into with my own little car dance and stuff. So my gosh.
So it's not a guilty pleasure. I'll say you can't put it on a guilty pleasure playlist because it's a great song. Sorry. You don't have to feel guilty for listening to One Direction because they're great. They have great music. I'm sorry. You people may completely hate me now.
No.
Okay.
Harry Styles is turning into quite the little actor too. He's been in a handful of things that are popping up on Amazon and Netflix, I think.
I love Harry Styles.
Yeah, I guess I need to get on that bandwagon too. Okay, so I do have an honorable mention that I'm going to share.
Okay.
It's not the original honorable mention I was going to share, but I'm going to go with this one because I know we had a show about songs that make us think about our sister. But when I think about the relationship that I have with you these days, special as all it is, what comes to mind for me is a good friend and a glass of wine. It doesn't say a good sister and a glass of wine, but I know we have had multiple times over the last few years sharing, hanging out, visiting each other. And for you, I know it's Michelob Ultra, but a good time with my sister having a glass of wine for myself and a Michelob Ultra for her. And what is the exact moment I'm thinking about this is when you came for the Go-Go's, and we really were only going to be together for maybe not even 36 hours. Yep. We checked into the hotel and we went to the bar before going to eat. And I think we had 2 drinks each, but we had a lovely moment of sharing that just was really amazing. That is one of my favorite trips, because even though it was probably the shortest visit you ever had out here, it was so meaningful in so many different ways. So thank you, Leanne Rhymes, for recording the song, because it's that Annie's my good friend and a glass of wine.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. So I think technically it's me to share number one. So I just keep going?
It is your turn to share number 1.
Okay. This is another 1-2 punch, and it is from the Material Girl herself, Madonna. So the first one is Rebel Heart, and this is from the Rebel Heart album. And when I listen to this song, I think about some of the things that Dad has said to me in my life that were meant to be lessons, like, daughter, you need to be thinking about this. So I live my life like a masochist, hearing my father say, told you so, told you so. Why can't you be like the other girls? I said, oh no, that's not me. And I don't think that it'll ever be. Dad never said, why can't you be like the other girls? But he did say, your mouth is going to get you in trouble someday, daughter. And he said that to me on more than one account. And it kind of makes me snicker a little bit. But I think all the rest of this stuff, I took the road less traveled by. I barely made it out alive. Through the darkness, somehow I survived. Tough love. I knew it from the start, deep down in the depth of my rebel heart. And another reason this comes to mind is that I've allowed myself to get in trouble at a number of my places of employment, standing on that place, that platform of, well, this is just who I am, and fuck you if you don't get that. And I see how having this attitude sometimes is dangerous for me. But I also see that if I have to keep apologizing for the person that I am, I will never live up to my full potential. And I will live my life being something different for somebody else instead of living my life for myself. So while some of this says like, oh yeah, that was me. I'm right here what I want to be. I'm looking for the other lyric. Look at you trying to be so provocative. And I said, yeah, this is me. I spent some time as a narcissist. Yeah, I can own that. But I think my rebel heart always will want to be that to a certain extent. And I don't know if it's because I'm the oldest. I don't know if it's because I've lived in 7 different states and worked at 9 different colleges, but I identify so much with that song. From lessons that I think our father had wished I had picked up on before they got me in trouble and that's where this next song comes in. It's also Madonna. It is from the Confessions on the Dance Floor album, and it's called Like It or Not. And it's just the chorus is, where did it go? This is who I am. You can like it or not. You can love me or leave me because I'm never going to stop. And this reflects the rebel heart piece, but I'm going to celebrate myself for who I am and not let what others feel about me hurt me. So there you go. Number
Okay.
1-2 punch, Madonna. Woohoo.
All right. Well, since you had 2 1-2 punches, I'm going to do a 1-2 punch, but it's not going to be by the same artist.
That's fine.
Okay. So the one half of the punch, and would you believe it? I've got Madonna on my playlist.
Shut up. Look at that.
Do. And the song is Promise to Try.
Oh.
And I'm not even going to talk about it other than Little Girl, Don't You Forget Her Face. I don't remember her face. So that one tells my story. That's all. Yeah. So, Madonna's mother died when she was young, and did too. And it's basically her telling to a little girl to be strong and to don't forget. That's us. I think that's kind of, I should have said that it's like number 1 that tells our story.
Yeah.
So that one is an amazing, and I think for all of Madonna's body of work, that one is her most human song. It is her most vulnerable. It is her at her most vulnerable, because it is the impact that had on her, and you see it in the Blonde Ambition.
Yes, in the Truth or Dare movie.
Yeah. So, but the 2 punch is, that this band had to be on my playlist is I'm Not Okay, I Promise by My Chemical Romance. It's basically saying the song is I'm not okay. Because when did I meet Keith? I was 33. For 33 years, I was not okay. I'm not okay. You wear me out. And for 36 years, that song told my story. Down to the very last part of it. I'm really okay. Trust me. I'm not okay. I'm not fucking okay.
Wow.
So that's it. Really, it kind of speaks more to my teenage years, because they were the worst times of my life. My high school years were the worst times of my life, and I was never okay. And it took me a long time to be okay. But even still, I think there are days when everybody has a day when you're just not okay. And it is what it is. So that one told my story for 36 years. And I still have days where it tells my story. So
yeah,
that's my 1-2 punch.
Ooh, what a 1-2 punch it was, dear sister. My goodness gracious.
I know.
Promise to Try is from the Like a Prayer album, which I think I put on another top 5 list. It is probably Madonna's most personal album in a number of different ways, but that song is, it's beautiful and all of the things.
All right. Would you like to recap?
Let's recap. So my honorable mention turned into A Good Friend and a Glass of Wine by Leanne Rimes. And then 1-2 punch number 1 on the Tequila and It's a Bitch to Grow Up by Alanis Morissette. Mystery by the Indigo Girls. Who I Am by Jessica Andrews, You're Still the One, Shania Twain, and my number 1-2 punch, Rebel Heart, and Like It or Not by Madonna.
All right.
Ooh.
Hang on, Like It or Not. Okay. My honorable mention was What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. And then from 5 to 1, 25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago. I'm So Tired by the Beatles. Hands on the Wheel by Willie Nelson. Trees by 21 Pilots. And then my 1-2 punch, Promise to Try by Madonna. And I'm Not Okay, I Promise by My Chemical Romance.
Wowzy.
That is my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And she's sticking to it, people, whether you like it or not.
Yep.
You can love us or leave us.
Yes.
You can listen to this podcast or you can listen to another podcast, but we're not going to stop.
I'm very proud that neither one of us put either The Story by Brandi Carlile or The Story of My Life by One Direction, because that's kind of just like, that's
yeah, the story being Brandi Carlile's, I guess, most revered song, kind of like in the way that Closer to Fine is the Indigo Girls' most revered song. It is probably, I mean, it's a great song, but with the rest of the library of what is Brandi Carlile, I would not even put that in the top 5.
Yeah, but if you're going to put songs on a playlist where they say the top 5 songs that tell your story, I think put in the ground rules. You can't have the song be the story of your life.
Fair enough. Yeah, that is very fair.
I'm proud of us.
Yes, I am quite proud of us too. And it's a heck of a list. So yeah. Well, okay. So now you probably do need a good friend and a glass of wine or a Michelob Ultra, whatever works. But Annie and I are so very grateful that you downloaded this week's episode and spent this special time with us. Very personal time for myself and my sister, and marked the first time that Kris cried on the podcast. So maybe we will not use video on this one and post on YouTube. However, if we do, we would love it if you would subscribe to the channel and share the show with your friends. And if not, if it doesn't wind up on YouTube, then you can share the show with your friends wherever you listen to podcasts, and go ahead and leave us a rating and review, because that helps us, believe it or not. It really does. So for Annie Pruitt, I'm Kris McPeak, and we will catch up with y'all at the next episode.
See ya.